it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got this little box for you. It's made with something that may be a bit of a surprise, may not, but anyway, I'm calling it my Pandora Box Bag because inside I have got 2 Pandora boxes. And the reason for this is because it was my niece's 21st birthday this year, and we have just celebrated her birthday about a month late. She was overseas travelling actually on her birthday, and I have bought her, my husband and I have bought her a couple of Pandora charms for a bracelet that we gave her some years ago. So I thought it would be nice to make a package for it. So these happen to measure 2 by 2, so they're 2 inches square and 1 3/4 inches tall. The box, when it is closed, I say the box, it's a bag really, at its highest point is 4.5 inches and it is just over 2 inches square. Now, I say you're going to be slightly surprised, you may not be, but I'm using the gift bag punch board. Because basically this is a gift bag that I've turned into a box. Now, the gift bags do not make a 2-inch square box, ordinarily. So, I'm using the Petal Promenade Designer Series paper. I am starting, let me just get those punches out of the way, which I will need later. I'm starting with a piece of Designer Series paper cut at 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. Now I have scribbled stuff on my gift board because what I always forget, not that it matters particularly for this pattern because there is no kind of up or down, but if there is a right way and a wrong way up, this is the bottom of the bag. So you need your pattern to be the right way up when your gift board has the punch nearest to you, because otherwise if you use it what would be the normal way up, which is that way, but I find it easier to punch this way up, if you do it the other way up it all gets a bit confusing. Anyhow, let's get started. So the first thing to do is to line the edge of your paper up against the start line and punch. And as I say, I just find it easier to punch with it nearest to me. It's partly because of the way my table is set up. The legs are that way, and this area is just hanging because it's a corner table or corner desk. And you want to score along the horizontal line, and you want to score along the line that says side 2. You want to ignore all of this malarkey for this particular bag. Now, this is going to be the bit that comes over the top. So this, you want to score all the way that you can. You're going to go off the edge of the board, but score as far as you can. It's less of an issue for the other bits. And here you've got a little tick mark. So you just line your scoreboard, your scored line up against that. And again, you're going for side 2. And again, you're doing the horizontal. And punching. Now, because of various things, far too boring to go into, I find it quite tricky to punch with my right hand. So, you know, I'm going to be punching with both. So you continue to just do side 2 and the horizontal line and then punch. But say for me, my left arm is an easier punch. But ordinarily, you may want to just use your right hand if it's this way round. Punch again, and then this piece I always flip over before I do the last punch, because you've got these edges line up against a stopper on the top here, and if you only have this piece here, you could end up with it going off at a weird angle. Not that it matters too much, because we're going to cut a lot of it away. So there we go. So that is all we need the punch board for. So I'll pop that to one side. Now, we are going to need our trimmer. So let's grab that. And Okay, we've got to trim off 2 3/4 inches from this side. So we want to keep this first scored line, this line that's not the narrow, we want to keep all of this intact, but we want to get rid of 2 3/4 inches from this area, so where the narrow scored part is. So what I do is I pop my trimmer blade in where I want it to stop and then push up, because that way it's not going to go over the edge, and then line up your score line, which you can see clearly down here when you're, you know, on top of it, and then again come in where that line is and cut, and then you've got this piece as a spare. So that's all we need that for. So let's pop that away. The first thing I'm actually going to do is, with my tag topper, I'm going to pop my 2-inch strip into my tag topper all the way and punch, because that's what's going to be the piece that comes over the top. Oh, and I forgot. Well, we can do it with this. You do actually want to fold this. You can score it if you want, but as long as you line this edge up, that's fine. But you do want that to be a reasonably good fold. Then just burnish all of these. And we do need to just trim away a couple of bits, but we can do this first. It's only paper, so you can bring in your bone folder if you want, or the tool that comes with your gift bag punch board. And then you just trim that off, and you trim that off, just so that you end up with a neat edge. And then grab some tear and tape, and just on that folded edge, you want it, it'd be easier if I could actually see the folded edge, wouldn't it? So just on the folded edge, it goes nicely into the pattern. Just pop a piece of tear and tape along there, and then if I grab my buried ruler, I can get a nice straight edge. And then let's just fold these pieces up. And some of these are going to need tear and tape as well, but we can add that when we need it. So there tends to be, oh no, it's worked this time. Sometimes you need to do a bit of a kind of fuss to make sure that it ends up as a square, but it's worked perfectly this time. I shouldn't have mentioned it, should I? So there we are. That lines up. Because it's a square, it should theoretically all line up nicely. But score lines, particularly on the punch boards, tend not to be quite as crisp as they would normally be. So a little bit of manipulation is not a bad idea. Now, this is going to be the front of your bag, so that's going to be the last thing to go down. So first thing we'll go in is the sides. I'm going to add a little bit of tear and tape just to one of these flaps. And the rest I'm actually going to stick together with wet adhesive. I will actually use my scissors just for ease, because it's a little bit... so yes, the rest of it I'm going to use a wet adhesive, because I find that gets you a stronger seal. But for this, because you're kind of pushing into mid-air, it's normally easier to use tear and tape. There we are. And then just pop your hand in and make sure that that's down, which it is. So that's good. Let's just pop it. Yeah. Right, so this is our front, this is our back. So I'm going to pop a very small amount of liquid adhesive on here. I'm not going to go mad, but I just want there to be some. And then pop that up, and it will stay in a minute. And then again on this, we're going to add some liquid adhesive. And just close everything down, and then with your bone folder or your tool that comes with your gift bag punch board, just pop that all in place, and you've got a nice neat base. Right, okay, so this works best with the boxes in situ, and then all you're going to do is kind of push it all together. It's going to go, it's only paper, it's going to want to do that so it's fine. You get this nice soft fold. You don't want it to be a crisp fold. Well, I don't. Right, so I thought I would use, because although theoretically this is a cream-based paper, vanilla-based paper, I think the white actually goes quite nicely. So I am, now what I did before was I folded it in half and then popped it through that way, because then you can just loop it round, and that way you don't end up cutting a huge great piece off that you don't end up needing. And then just pop that down. Whoops, get the loop actually underneath your box. That would help, wouldn't it? Right, and then just pull those ends. Don't need nearly that much. So let's shorten that quite significantly. Right. Ugh. If I could be more cack-handed this morning, I think I could. It would be a miracle. Needless to say, I'm filming this in the morning. Whenever you happen to be watching it, I'm filming this in the morning. Hence, I'm saying this morning. I normally manage to avoid using times of day, except when the sun's in the way. Right, so there we go. That's what we need. Then all we've got to do is tie that in a bow. This is where you probably need to use your stomach to keep everything in place. But as my stomach is about 10 inches away from where I'm doing this, that ain't going to work. Not and keep it on camera. Right, so once you've got your knot in, your half knot in place, it actually is an easier fiddle. But I just like the look of this particular finish closure. I think it's just cute. That bow is appalling. Let's cut that off and try it again. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Pull, tighten, pull, tighten. I've done it wrong again. I think it's because I'm trying to do it upside down. That's the problem. Let's do it this way up. I have a way of tying bows that means that, you know, they have to be done the right. Whoops, done the right way. And for some reason I'm trying to do it really cack-handedly. Oh. Okay, I'll probably end up having to re-tie it for the pictures, but for the sake of not having you just having to watch me tie a bow, for crying out loud. Oh no, that's worked. Yay! Right, okay, let's trim our ribbon. And now I'm going to bring in a colour that's going to be a bit of a surprise, I think. It's not theoretically in the paper, but you know, it kind of works. Let's just shuffle that down. That's better. Melon Mambo, because these colours are actually Highland Heather, Fresh Fig, what else? Blushing Bride, Grapefruit Grove, Petal Pink. Yeah, so that's it for the sort of pinky colours. And I used Petal Pink for this one, but this has got more of that orange look. This is very much a pink, and none of the colours that are included in the the list are what I would call a real pink. But just a little bit of Melon Mambo I thought might be fun. So I need a scrap of Whisper White because I'm going down the white route. So there's a piece of Whisper White, and I'm using the Happy Birthday from the Treat Time stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it first and then punch it out. So that should be long enough. Let me just check. Absolutely. So hold it for a little bit. Shazam! Right, don't need that anymore, so we'll get rid of it. Get rid of that. Bring in our punch, and this is the Pretty Label Punch, which is very pretty, and it's a label punch. And the Happy Birthday fits just beautifully between these 2 points, which I thought was quite fun. And I've got a sort of scrap of Melon Mambo and the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, which I will just punch a circle. And right, that's what I need. So on my Melon Mambo, just scribble some multi-purpose adhesive, pop that on, and then that, see, I think looks quite pretty. It doesn't kind of say that's wrong in my eyes. Right, okay, so grab some dimensionals. Now, the key with this is you want the rounded edge of the scallop topper to go underneath the top of your tag. So don't put a dimensional up at the top. You need it to be on the circle, because otherwise you can put one at the bottom there. But if you put it on the on this white piece, so off the circle, it won't tuck neatly underneath. Ask me how I know. So, then pop that just there, whoops, in the middle. And, whoa, it'd be nice if it was actually in the middle. There we go. And just for a last bit of Shazam, I have got somewhere, as I put them out, here we go, the glitter enamel dots, because I think these will go quite nicely, because if memory serves, they are Melon Mambo. And because I've now brought in Melon Mambo, I can use them. They are indeed Melon Mambo. So they're Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo and Gorgeous Grape. I love them, love them, love them. So yeah, why not use them? So I'm using my Take-a-Pick tool, and I'm just going to stick it to my Take-a-Pick tool apparently. Just add 3 of these. I'm getting them way too far onto my Take-a-Pick tool, that's the problem. 2, actually I might use a bigger one, and 3. Me and my odd numbers. So there we go. So that's that one. I will retie this for the photos, and there's the other one. But I think they are a really gorgeous little gift bag box. And as I say, using the gift bag punch board. So don't just think that the gift bag punch board can only do what it says on the gift bag punch board. It can do other things as well. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Do remember we're doing bonus days for the whole of August. So every £45 multiple of £45 you spend on my online store, you will get a gift voucher for September for £4.50. So every £45 you spend in August, you get £4.50 off in September. But do remember you have to do it in one order. So if you've got to the point where you've got, not quite, but jolly nearly, a £45 multiple, so, you know, 45, 90, etc. Why not add one of the new ink pads? Because if you haven't already got all the new colours, it's a perfect time to just stock up on your ink pads, and that way you'll get more of your bonus vouchers. And remember, of course, that a £4.50 bonus voucher pretty much covers your postage for September. So even if you only do one £45 order in August, you will get your postage for free! In September, which is a great time to buy because we've got our new autumn winter catalogue, which is amazing. If you don't already have an autumn winter catalogue and you're in the UK and you don't work with a demonstrator already, do contact me. My contact details are on my blog, and there's also a link So there's a link to my blog immediately below, but there's another link which takes you to all my social media, which includes links to emails and the online store and stuff. So get that message to me. Let me know you want an autumn-winter catalogue, and I will get one out to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you again soon.